What's up, guys? This is Savachi Productions. I'm here with my boy Gates Maier. We have been friends for since 5 or 6 years old, something like that.
Something like that. Too long to remember.
And I'm really excited to have him on this show for him to just talk about just some of the things that he went through with school and how he overcame some of those roadblocks. And in my past video, I kind of shared some of my experiences and stuff. Not all of it, obviously, but in my first video, I talked about how I wanted to have everyone has a story to share, and I wanted to have people on this show share about their stories, and hopefully it relates to you. And if not, for it to be inspiring and for you to take something from that. So I'm really excited for you to share kind of what we were roommates for 2 years in college, which was awesome. And we were actually talking a little bit about your route and kind of some of the things that you were going through, but I actually didn't know a little bit about some of those things. Actually. So can you just walk us through where, schooling wise and some of the struggles, and then just kind of walk us through how it's gotten to you, where you're at now?
Yeah. So first things first, I am in chiropractic school right now. I actually have just about a year left. So cool. Getting down to the wire, and I'm ready to start working. But up until this point, it's been a long road. It's been a road full of struggles and everything like that. So probably the biggest thing though was, being in high school, you get right out of high school and you're like, what do I want to do? Everybody says to go to college, and a lot of times there's so many different job opportunities these days. There's so many people that do different kinds of jobs. I had shadowed a chiropractor when I was in high school, and I was like, this seems like a pretty cool job. Maybe I should do that. But entered into IU thinking, you know what, we'll see what else is out there as well. And while I was there, it was just very, I started out as undecided, and that kind of created a vibe within me that I was like, not really seeing what my vision was. Yeah. And I think along the way, that kind of created those troubles, that created those struggles that I had to go through. And about my sophomore, maybe it was my junior year actually. So I actually got kicked out of IU for not having good enough grades, which was rough. I had just started dating my now wife, and my family was there, and they knew that I had wanted to become a chiropractor or potentially something else. And so that was kind of disappointing at the time, just to be able to go to your parents and be like, hey, I got kicked out of school for bad grades. Like that's not anything you want to say, but I'm sure many of you can relate, and it's a struggle that a lot of people have, Yeah. And so I got kicked out. I started going to a community college, and I kind of had to return to my roots and think about, okay, what is it that I want to do? I thought it was chiropractic. I thought maybe there was something else out there, but nothing really jumped out at me until I went and actually shadowed the chiropractor that I had first learned from. Got to see a lot of his patients, got to see how he ran his office and everything like that. And after that, dude, I was like, you know what? I don't know why I was hesitating. I don't know why I was like, didn't want to pull the trigger on it and just go after it. So got to go through a process of being in community college, kind of prove myself to get back into IU, get good grades. I did that, but actually when the next term came around, so the next fall term, it had to be presented in front of the board and be like, okay, does this guy deserve to be back in or not? And school had started. So I was kind of like, oh, what do I do? They haven't come to a conclusion. I didn't have a place to live. I didn't have, any direction necessarily other than my counselor, who was just like, you know what, go to these classes, and if they accept it and they approve you, then you're already, going to these classes. But if you don't, then you're behind the 8 ball. So essentially I think I was there for a month. Staying on Cameron Cruz, Daniel Brewer, and Phil Sarpong. If you guys
awesome
are watching
guys.
This, thank you guys for letting me crash on your couch for that long. And during that time, I didn't say this before, but I actually got pneumia during that time.
Oh,
so
really?
It was like really rough time. But thank you guys for putting up with me. And so I was sleeping on their couch, and the lady emailed me that was overseeing the entire process, and she was like, the board doesn't know like if they're willing to take this chance on you to come back into the school and for you not to see it through. And so I was like, you know what, can we meet, please? Like,
Yeah.
I had to prove myself to her. And I knew that I had a lot of work to go into school again. And I had worked so hard to get into that point. That was basically like, you know what, I've been going to classes.
Yeah.
I'm seeing my vision. I know that I want to be a chiropractor. I know that I want to help people when I eventually get out of school. And she put it through.
Wow.
She accepted it. And so I moved off their couch, got an apartment. The loans came through, which was awesome too. And, you know, it was a long process, but it's one that I'm grateful for. Even as much pain as it was at the time, you know, and as much as it going from like a big school, you know, IU has 40,000 undergrad students to just a small community college. I'm grateful for that opportunity.
Yeah.
For that reason that now I see my purpose. I see that vision to where it's so clear. Yeah. You know, and that pushes me and strives me every single day.
That's awesome. And kind of walk us through. So you got through IU, and then so now you're in Davenport.
Yep.
So kind of walk us through what, you know, the changes, and I know you also mentioned like your grades. Your grades were great the next time. So kind of, you know, what were your grades going after, you know, you got kicked out, you got back in, and what was, you know, the results after that?
Yeah, you know, I actually don't think I've ever told anybody my GPA at the time. It was a 1.9 when I got kicked out.
Wow.
Really low.
Wow.
If you have a 1.9 out there, you guys can come back. I believe in all y'all. The next semester, sorry, I'm on trimesters now. I got like a 3.6, and then the semester after that, I was taking 21 credit hours, and I got a 4.0.
Dude, that's awesome.
So for me, I was like, and when I told you that, like, I saw my vision, like, it was like, I'm not even going to get close to failing out of a class. That's not an option. Wow. So, and then to now being at school, you know, been on the dean's list multiple times. And now just being able to get an opportunity, I'm actually going to be able to be at an internship at the VA hospital in Chillicothe, Ohio. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
You know,
can you kind of tell them a little bit how like amazing that is to actually be able to get that opportunity?
Yeah. So to start off, you have to meet a certain criteria when you go through school, you know, certain GPA, certain requirements that you've met to be able to even be on the list to be, you know, chosen. So you go into a pool, and in that pool, you go through different interviews, both with the school that you're a part of and then with different doctors throughout the United States. And within that, you know, I'm thankful for the doctor out in Chillicothe, Ohio. He gave me an opportunity. He said, you're exactly who we're looking for. You're somebody. And for that, you know, he saw my value. And for that, you know, dude, I almost cried after that phone call because I was like, dang, you know, all this hard work that's been put in, it's finally been worth it. And, you know, it's a small group of students that get chosen. So for me, again, that was just like an awesome opportunity to be even a part of in the first place, you know?
Wow, dude, that's awesome. And that's why, guys, like I want people to be on this show and to share like what they've gone through. And, you know, for you to go from not really knowing what you wanted to do, then, you know, shadowing someone and be like, okay, you know, and then 1.9 GPA. I'm not gonna lie, like that's crazy.
That's pretty low.
I think my lowest was like, because I talked about, you know, my last video. I believe I did. Hopefully, I'm not, you know, going crazy. But I think I talked about I had like a pretty low GPA, but I was talking about how I had a bad grades. But trying to get out of that is tough, like because bad grades.
It's hard to get recovered from.
Yeah,
it honestly is. Yeah,
because it means that like obviously with that studying's hard. You're not doing well in tests. You're probably lazy in a lot of areas. And so it's a complete just change of a mindset of really like, okay, I have to. And I think that's the most important thing, especially for any of you guys that are going through that tough time with school. And it might not even be school. It could be anything. You know, it could be whether it's in your job and you're not doing, you know, very, very well. You can get out of that. Mm-hmm. And I think Gates's story is so evident of that, of going from a 1.9, getting kicked out of IU, and then having that, like, you know what, I'm not giving up. I'm going to go back into it. And then, you know, getting a 3.5, I think you said, and then a 4.0, like that is awesome. And he's actually here, you know, this weekend interviewing for a possible, you know, full-time position. Yeah. And so like, it just shows you what happens when you just believe in yourself. I think that's also something that's really big, right?
Yeah, for sure. That confidence in yourself. And again, like when the doctor said it to me, it was like, okay, I know now that it's real, but you have to make it real for yourself first and foremost, because if it's not, then you're just going to end up being in that spiral downward towards where you don't know what you want to do. You don't have that vision. But once you have that confidence in yourself and you know you can do it, you know there are things that you're going to achieve. I mean, it's cliche, but anything's possible. Like, dude, I had a 1.9 GPA. I had to come back from that, you know. It might have honestly been lower than that. I haven't checked in. I saved a screenshot to my phone to be like, look at it. You know, when I was having rough days where like I don't want to study for a test, I'll be like, just look at this. I don't want to go back to that, you know. And again, to have that opportunity sucks. Yeah. But to get out of it, I wouldn't ask for anything more. You know?
That's awesome. Could you kind of walk through? I know that there's a lot of people, including myself. I mean, I'm sure you're going to share some things that I also don't know, but just of the importance of like what you're doing, and because I know for me, and maybe a lot of people out there, it's just like, okay, like a chiropractor, like, why do I need that? Or, you know, there's just like you watch you watch the videos and you're like, oh wow, like the sounds of the cracks are cool, but what is this? Why is it so important? What does this really do for us? And just kind of a moment for you to kind of shine some light on why the profession is so important for us to go see a chiropractor, and then also kind of give us the reasoning why it's so important to you of doing that.
Yeah, of course. There's a couple different things, but the main thing that every chiropractor should be, or at least the mark of a good chiropractor, is to get your nervous system functioning right. Okay. I know for a lot of people that might be like, what? They just pop a spine, like your spine or whatever like that. But your spine actually holds your nervous system. It holds what the connection is to your brain for your entire body, right? So your brain tells your body to, digest food, your lungs to breathe, your heart to beat. And within that, if you don't have a proper signal, a proper connection, kind of like if you're on the phone and you have a bad connection, there's miscommunication between you and the other person on the other line.
That's a good analogy.
Right?
Yeah.
So you don't want that for your body, because then it starts having real weird, scenarios and everything like that. So as a chiropractor, what we do is we're making sure that nervous system is functioning properly. Okay. So you do that by putting the bone back and being able to help it to move right. Okay. And so that way the nervous system, I know this is a lot of science terms being thrown out here. I'm trying to dumb it down.
It's good.
It's good practice for me too.
Yeah, it's good for you. Good for me to know what you guys do.
Yeah, So it's more than just that snap, crackle, pop. But I think along the way though, and that's the main focus for me, is to get your nervous system functioning well. But along the way, what I really desire for every single one of my patients is to inspire and empower them to know that your health is not a game to play with, but on top of that too, we can overcome a lot of things. Like there's a lot of things in our environment that can cause us to have bad health, but making sure that that, okay, your nervous system is functioning properly. Yeah. That's the biggest key. Because if your nervous system is functioning properly, you can combat against things like low back pain or combat against any kind of pain. And then you can combat against things like your immune system not working right. You're getting sick all the time. Yeah. And I think too, like you can combat against things, and this is again just your potential. A chiropractor helps you to beat things even more, like cancer. A lot of cancer patients, they have low energy. They have their body struggling because it's being under attack by their own cells, right? Yeah. So you want that nervous system working as well as possible. And again, if I can inspire every single one of my patients and empower them to know what, these are health goals that you can achieve, and you can even make new health goals, and you can go, run marathons or even just play with your grandkids. I think that's the biggest thing, is seeing that patient reach those goals that they want so that they're living their best life. That's what my main goal is.
That's awesome. And kind of pigging, back off of that. So I just started seeing like someone, and her name is Dr. Leah, but her name's Leah, and so absolutely amazing what she does. And I remember, so I was like getting sick a ton before I started seeing her. I was getting sick. I was feeling, I was waking out of bed, and I'm 24, and I'm like, I'm
not supposed to be this.
I'm very active. Like I was playing sports, and honestly, I don't think I've played pretty much every sport and done every sport besides like hockey and lacrosse. I mean, I've played lacrosse now, but like back competitively, basketball, soccer, football, running track, swimming, wrestling, MMA, like all of that stuff I did.
He's done just about everything.
So like for me, I was used to just being able to get up and do whatever I wanted to, and it was very frustrating for me to get out on to start playing football, and all of a sudden like I'm starting to have these sharp pains in my back, and I can't like run as fast as I like used to, or certain things. I'm like, I'm 24. Like this should just start happening now. Like
the spine of a 60-year-old.
Yeah, like it was. I was starting to get actually irritated and mad. Like I'm waking out of bed and I'm hurting, and my neck was hurting. And then I was actually getting sick a ton, and it was just like week after week, and I'm like, what's happening? So it's crazy. I actually went in, and one of the things that she said, so she did the x-ray, and so I was like, it was actually due to you in the profession and learning everything. I'm like, okay, like there's obviously something to this. Yeah. I'm in pain. I don't want to be taking painkillers all the time. Like I want, because I think one of the things with that, it's like, where's the end of the painkillers?
Yeah, it's just a life cycle.
Exactly. Like, okay, every time I'm hurting, I'm gonna pop these, but like, you're just subduing the pain. You're not actually fixing the pain. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I don't want to be a 24-year-old that's, not able to play the sports that I love. Yeah. And so I remember going in. Now, the thing about me, though, is that I will injure myself and not do anything about it. So, like, I'll sprain something.
Literally the worst thing.
I will just, like...
But that's what most people do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Everybody does it.
Yeah.
I've sprained countless ankles in my lifetime.
Yeah.
You don't get a fix.
You don't do anything. Yeah. And that's pretty much what happened. There was one time we were playing basketball, and I think I went up. I think it was Tyler Quaz. I went up to try to get a rebound from. We're both going up.
Dude's 6'9", just for reference.
Yeah, 6'9". I do have some hops though, so I was like up there a little bit with them. But we both had the ball, and then he kind of like grabbed the ball, and so I like basically fell back, and I didn't catch myself. It was just like boom, and I hit on the ground and on my hip, and I remember getting up, and everyone's like, you want to be the tough guy, so I was like, you good? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I got up and I started running again, and the adrenaline's going, so you don't really feel like the true pain. Later on that night, like I started feeling it, and so I just continued to go on. Right. And so I remember she got the x-ray, and she was looking at it, and she was like, your spine, like my lower was kind of like bent a little bit, and then there's some other things that were bent, and then she even said this, and this is what I was like, man, she knows what she's doing. She goes, did you like get hit really hard or fall really hard?
You had like a psychic
I was like, well, yeah. I was like, that's crazy.
The body doesn't lie, man.
Yeah.
The body doesn't lie.
And I'm like, wow. And so, but yeah, like that happened. And so she just started giving me adjustments. Like I started seeing her every week, and I'll get like here and there, like maybe I'll get a little sick and stuff, but nothing like it used to be. Mm-hmm. Nothing like it used to be. And so now I feel more light on my feet. Yeah. It's like the weirdest thing too. Like you go in and you have that pain, whether it's in your back, your shoulders, your hip, your whatever it is, and then like she'll adjust me, and she'll be like, what hurts? And I'll let her know. Like let's say it's like my neck, she'll adjust my neck, and then she's like, all right, after she's done, she's like, all right, stand up. And like I stand up, and there's just no like pain at all. And I'm like, man, I feel like I should be feeling some pain. Like, did you really just fix it that quick? So for anyone that is in pain or anything like that, like definitely I think it's a great idea to go. I'm still learning a ton. This guy's teaching me a lot. I've learned a lot through Dr. Leah and everything. I find it funny that we're like friends now, so it's I call her Leah now, but
you gotta add the doctor.
Yeah, no, I feel like I gotta add the doctor for this.
So you gotta do it for this too, though.
Yeah, Dr. Gates.
That sounds weird. Dr. G.
Dr. Gates. Okay. Dr. Gates.
That's
that's not bad. You got the glasses now.
It's just my dream,
Yeah, it looks good. But So, guys, that is this podcast. Thank you so much, Gates,
Yeah,
for
of
coming
course.
on.
Thank you for having me, man.
Dude, sharing your story and getting it out there and letting people know, like,
definitely.
that's a huge thing. So I hope you guys are inspired.
Yeah.
Hope you guys like it. Tune in for the next episode. Don't know if it's just gonna be me or someone else that's on the show, but we got a lot coming. So put in the comments any questions that you have.
Yeah.
I'll let him be able to see it and comment back. But guys, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Alright, let's see how much hold
Did it cut off?
basketball, soccer, football, running track, swimming.